All right, guys, so I just had a crazy idea. I was out here for a run and I was like, you know what? Why don't I do a day in the life? The last time I did a day in the life was like a year ago. And today's a weekday, so it's actually like an interesting day. We're checking on the markets. We've already taken 3 trades this week and it's a very profitable week. So I just kind of want to show you guys like what it is that I do. So right now I'm going for like a 3 to 4 mile run. I'm doing like these repeats, 800-meter repeats, just to get better at my stamina. But when I get back, I'm gonna get on the chart, show you guys some setups, and probably make some lunch as well. It's still pretty early on in the day. So yeah, let's do it. I'll see you guys back at the house. Also, I love walking by this neighborhood right here. There's literally so many nice houses. At the end of the road, there's some $30 million houses here. So it's just really cool to see, because if you don't kind of like realize what there is at the top and what you could potentially be doing, you start to convince yourself that what you're doing is already good enough and you stop pushing. But if you stop doing the things that literally got you to where you are now, you're not gonna get to the next level. So it's really important to do this. All right, so real quick, I wanted to talk to you guys about trading psychology. Look, psychology is very simple. You likely have a bunch of limiting beliefs about how much money you can make, especially if you have a job, you've been conditioned to make that amount of money, say $4K, $8,000 a month, and you're just used to that same $8,000 or $4,000, whatever it might be. That is probably half of trading psychology alone, removing those limiting beliefs that you have. And as well, if you've already been trying to trade profitably for some time, maybe say a year or two, or even a couple of months, you likely have already gotten some results, and maybe they haven't been as profitable as you might want them to. And the longer that cycle continues, the more you're gonna get cemented into it, and the harder it is to kind of break out and make a leap up. Because when we're talking about increasing your income, it never goes from 8,000 to 10,000 to 12,000. It's always massive leaps. I've always seen massive leaps, going from not even making a single dollar to $10,000 a month, going from $10,000 a month to $50,000 a month. Those are the kind of leaps that realistically happen. It's not what you might expect where it's like gradual progress. So what do you need to happen to go? The single thing that needs to happen, and it doesn't take years for this to happen. This could happen from one day to the next. If you can unlock whatever is in your mind that is holding you back from making more money. So for example, say every time you have a big win, you subconsciously think, wow, I got lucky, I can't repeat that. Or you get very excited and you celebrate the big win. The reason why that's such a big problem is because if you're celebrating the win, it signals to your subconscious that you shouldn't be having those size of wins. You shouldn't be making that much. You shouldn't have this type of result. Even though you don't consciously see this, that's the signal that you're sending to your subconscious. I just had that thought in my mind. I think a lot of traders think it's a strategy problem. They think it's a win rate problem. They think it's a risk to reward problem. But in reality, it's all up here. And it's not so much about stop revenge trading, stop doing this. It's more about what is the guiding principle that's in your head. And then that leads all other choices. It'll automatically reduce over trading. It'll automatically make you better at risk management. But first you have to believe that you can do it. You have to be super confident in what you're doing, confidence in every single trade, and also confidence in your ability as a trader overall. The more you can expand your mind, see bigger things, see people making more than you, the more you're gonna realize, wait a second, I've been limiting myself this entire time. And if you've ever you probably had a couple of days or weeks where you just felt super confident in yourself. You felt 10 out of 10. If someone walked up to you and asked you, how's your day? How confident are you today? How did you wake up this morning? The best. I woke up amazing. I woke up with the most amount of energy I ever have in my entire life. You've probably had days like that. For sure, you've had days like that. Imagine every single day in your life looked like that. How much more money you can make, how much more profitable you can be in your trading, how much better your fitness would be, your relationships, everything, right? So if you wake up with that level of confidence, 10 out of 10 confidence, I'm gonna kill it, whatever happens today, I am the best. If I lose a trade, that's fine. I am still the best, right? But you go into it with that confidence, and then all of a sudden you're gonna stop losing as much, you're gonna make more. And then when you win, when you have a big day, say you make $10,000, $20,000 in a single day, you're not gonna think to yourself, wow, I got so lucky. Wow, let's congratulate myself. Let's throw a party. Let's go out and celebrate this. Instead, you're gonna think, good, I'm supposed to make $10,000 in a day. I'm supposed to make this every single day. That's the mindset. Instead of thinking, wow, I got lucky, it's like, no, that was supposed to happen. That was supposed to happen. So then you can repeat it. Because if you made it one day, there's no reason why you can't make it 30 days out of the month or 20 days out of the month, which is when the markets are open. It really comes down to that. It's a decision that you make. And until you make that decision, you're gonna forever be capped at that level of income. So I just finished this run. It's 95 degrees out here in Miami right now. There is probably like 75% humidity, so it feels like 105. Just ran 3 miles, slower than I would have wanted to, but still did it nonetheless. And you know what? I think I'm gonna hop in the pool real quick, probably refresh myself, and then I'll take a look at the charts. The good thing about trading is that trading happens on your clock. Right? Like if you're feeling stressed out because you have to go check the markets are doing something and you're the one that has to go to them to go check whatever the market's doing, you are doing it all wrong. I don't wait on the markets wait on me to show up. And you also have to have a strategy that aligns with that thought process, right? But if you don't want it to be a job, if you want it to be more relaxed, which is how it should be, right? Who wants to work 8 hours a day? No one wants to do that. You know, the reality is though, set it up to where the market waits on you. When you show up, that's when you look for opportunities. It's not about, oh, I missed this opportunity, I should be on the charts all day. Fuck that. You want to be the opposite. You want to reverse it so you can show up to it. Once again, it goes back to the confidence, right? Like, how much do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you're only gonna make it work if you catch every single move in the market? Or do you believe that when you show up, destiny will tell you that the trade is there for you, right? The trade will appear. You don't have to be there all day, every day. Put yourself in the position of power. Make trading your employee, not you're an employee of trading. Do you want to have a second job, or do you want to instead become your own boss and make trading your sub-employee? That's a much better idea. Once again, it comes back to the confidence. How do you feel 10 out of 10? Every single day you should feel 10 out of 10. Even on the days where, yes, it's hard to get up. It's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do this. Even on those days, if someone asks you how confident are you right now, 10 out of 10, 1,000 out of 10. That's the reality. That's the only way trading is going to work. And then you start removing those limiting beliefs and you get to that next level. All right, so I'm doing my midday analysis. I usually check the markets once in the morning and then another time either in the afternoon or like later in the Asian session at nighttime. Right now I'm taking a look. I'm looking at the fact that we're up this week. We're up very nicely. I'm looking at why I took that Euro USD trade that I did and just trying to like better understand it to see if I can replicate it or if I maybe shouldn't get in so early in a trend next time. I took this trade with the expectation that we were gonna break outside of consolidation, and we hit our take profit, or I hit my take profit in 6 hours. Beautiful trade. But I thought we were gonna break out of the consolidation, and now price is actually holding resistance. And that's kind of like the reason why I wanna look into this setup and see if I should be repeating it or not. I think so, because I had a bunch of confluences for it, and I think it does match my strategy. But I don't think I'm gonna execute any trades right now, just because it's already Thursday. I've already taken 3 trades this week, and I'm also not really seeing anything that good. I was also checking my trade on AUD-NZD. That one was a small win. I think I closed that one for 3.7K today, around 10 a.m. I closed out of it. And that's about a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I closed that at a 1-to-1 very early. Since then, it has gone a 1-to-2. Hasn't hit my full take profit, but it has gone a 1-to-2 after I've already closed out of it. So I'm also looking at this one and trying to think, like, could I have held this for a bit longer? Could I have made some more profit on this? And last but not least, I'm looking at my third trade, or I guess my first trade of the week, which was the loss on GBP JPY. Now, I will say I did an excellent job of managing this one, and I think I did everything correct. The one thing I didn't do correct was wait for two lower highs, which is one of the parts of my trading strategy. That would have prevented me from taking this loss, and that's why I have that rule in the first place, to prevent fake outs. I just wanted to take this one because I thought the risk to reward was so good, and it was. I really only lost 1K on it, and I was gonna make 13K. So it was a 1-to-13 risk to reward because I closed out early. And you know, when it comes to a 1-to-13 risk to reward, even if you have a 20% chance of winning, 30% chance of winning, that's huge. All right, so just so you guys can visualize this real quick. First trade of the week, GBP JPY right here. Hold up, let me make sure you can see the whole screen. All right, 42K in the past probably like 6 trading weeks. Pretty insane. For us to look at the week. This week, we are at, I believe, 17. Let's see. Hold up. Let's go to the dashboard and go to the calendar down here. Yeah, so we're up 17, and that's after commissions. If not, it would have been like 19. We're up 17 this week, 14 last week. The week before that was supposed to be higher. It was supposed to be, you know, addition of this one. But because I took it here, closed it here, it counted for all in week 2. But in reality, week 2 didn't have that many trades. It was just you know, the follow-up of those. But let's look specifically at that loss. The first, so 3 trades this week, 1, 2, and 3. Pound JPY. Okay, I guess it was like 1.5K, but it's still like a 1-to-10 risk to reward ratio on this. Here it is. So short position, because of a head and shoulders pattern. I didn't have a second higher low. It's not like this was a very bearish market at all. It actually wasn't bearish, and I knew it wasn't bearish. I was taking a pretty much like a educated gamble on this one because I kind of just wanted to see if we were going to respect it and continue and then start a new trend to the downside. And I thought the daily time frame wasn't that bad, but obviously now in hindsight it was extremely bullish. But that's fine. Like I said, I knew it had a lower probability of winning, but it was still worth taking just because of the risk to reward. Closed out around here. As you see, a 1-to-10 risk to reward because of where I closed out. And I knew that going into it, I knew the risk to reward was going to be huge because of how soon I was going to close out the second that this high got broken. Now, second trade, AUD-NZD. I held this one for the longest. I held this one for like 2 days, I think. Let's see, boom. Guys, I held it for 2 days, about close to 48 hours. So yeah, I held that trade for 48 hours, closed out today for a 1-to-1 risk to reward around there, give or take. Now, the reason why I closed out, once again, it was too slow. It was just a pretty slow market, and I didn't want to keep holding it. However, the trend is bearish. I probably should have held it for longer because we were starting to break below this daily support. And I think now it's also a psychological level, 1.2000. It's just such a key. Look at that. Look at that key level right there. Now it's most likely going to continue down, at least to the next psychological level. That's what the market loves to do. It loves to bounce from here to here. And then it'll probably bounce back up towards like 1.2400. And then last but not least, 6-hour trade. My trade that took 6 hours to play out. Hold up. Let's go on the 2-hour time frame. 2-hour time frame. I took it because I saw a huge engulfing bullish candle, which shows me that buyers are in control of the market. Buyers are starting to step in. I saw higher lows coming down from this low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So on the third higher low, I took a long position. Notice how we broke above all of these highs. I was correct in my analysis, and I knew we were about to start breaking out of the consolidation. So now we're starting to come back into this consolidation. and I want to kind of see what happens from here. But if I am correct, we should be coming up to 1.15 and beyond. We'll see what happens and if this is a repeatable setup that I should be taking. But from what I see, and based off of that entry with the wick rejection, I got the wick rejection entry right there. I think if I can continue to get entries like that, then this is a very profitable setup. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm seeing right now. So just a quick update. We didn't really find any other trades today. It's Thursday right now. I'm gonna try to get this posted by tomorrow, so it could be as fast as possible. But I was looking at NZD CHF, USD CHF. A lot of these markets simply aren't set up right now to actually take a trade on it. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm up already this week, right? We're up 3 trades already. So yeah, I mean, this is a very realistic day in the life. Like, not every day you're gonna find a perfect trade or anything like that. I mean, I could show you a little bit about what I'm looking at here, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, for example, like I was looking at this market right here, NZD CHF 1 hour. If I switch to the 4 hour, you'll see how it's kind of overextended right now. What that means to me is that it kind of makes it difficult to trade it because it's overextended. It doesn't give me much market structure to work with. I need to see more pullbacks and I need to see more retracements. Now the 1 hour does look a bit better. We have kind of bounced off of that EMA, which is a very clean type of structure that is starting to form. But I would most likely want to wait for the 4 hour. Let me see. There was also a bearish trend on Euro NZD. I've been calling this out since we were around here. And so far we have gone down a pretty good amount, but sometimes it's difficult to find an entry. Right now though, we are kind of coming back up into this price level, 196.300. A very good, very interesting price level. Let me show you. Oh, I've been waiting for a move down on AUD USD, the Australian dollar. This one's gonna be so clean. We could potentially make a very nice trade here if this goes down. Let me see if I can show you the CHF. Okay. All right. Yeah, USD CHF right here. So I was trying to essentially figure out if this was trending down or not. But I think at the moment, because we have this bottom support here, it's definitely struggling, and I definitely think it's better to wait. Although I do foresee a move down. Hold up, let me draw this zone. Fuck, bro, it's not letting me draw the zone. My trading view has been glitching. Okay, there you go, there you go. So I do expect and I do forecast a move down at 0.81. Notice how this is such a psychological level. You see that right there. But at the same time, not going to take it because look at the lows. It's consolidating. So you gotta be smart about what trades to take. All right, so got some sushi right here. And that's gonna be pretty much it for today. Gonna just chill out. Like I said, no trades today. There was no good opportunities and we're not really gonna force it. So we have right here the salmon and we have here, I'm pretty sure that's like tuna or something. So yeah, let's go.